All right, you guys, every single time I have a conversation with some of my friends, they're always like, one bad thing that Trump did was his mishandling of the COVID pandemic, that he was very terrible and that one person shouldn't have died. And if one person dies, then under your government, due to the result of this pandemic and what have you, then you have failed. Now, one of the things I've shared on this particular platform on YouTube is how Trump reacted, not as per what he said, but the actions that he took when it came to actually handling the pandemic. And one of the actions that he took was to actually implement travel bans to certain countries. He first started with China, and then he started with the European countries. Now, he got a lot of backlash, but one of the key people that actually backlashed Trump was Joe Biden. But now it seems that Joe Biden is backstepping, and Joe Biden, who has this amazing plan to actually fight this COVID pandemic, different from what Trump has, is actually doing the same thing as Trump, as it has just been reported. This is just fresh out of New York Post, saying Biden to reinstate COVID pandemic travel ban targeting UK, Europe, and Brazil. So we're going to get into this story right now because there's a lot that has been said about how the Orange Man bad handled the virus. And now it seems that Biden, who has a different plan, doesn't actually have any plan whatsoever, but to follow the exact same plan that Trump put in place. So we're going to get into this story right now. But before we do, I want to quickly remind you guys that you are checking out Sire's Domain. And I would like to urge you guys to hit that thumbs up on that button below. Also, if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing as well. Now, without further ado, let's jump straight into this story from New York Post. President Biden will reinstate re-entry ban on nearly all non-U.S. travelers trying to come into the country from the UK, Ireland, 26 other European countries, and Brazil, and impose a new ban on travel from South Africa, a report said on Sunday. Former President Trump has signed an order January 18 that was to lift the C virus related ban Tuesday, but Biden will take action Monday to keep the prohibition stays in place, federal public health sources told Reuters. Remember, sometime last year, Biden was sharing a totally different opinion about these travel bans. And this is what he had to say on Twitter. He said, a war will not stop the COVID pandemic. Banning all travel from Europe or any other part of the world will not stop it. This disease could impact every nation and any person on the planet, and we need a plan to combat it. Well, I guess his plan right now is to actually use the same plan that Trump put in place to combat it. So it is very funny how people are painting Joe Biden as like the next coming of Jesus, or the second coming of Jesus, who's going to save everybody with a new plan, who's going to create new systems that's going to just wipe this thing out, according to what he said. But he's actually making a total 180 degrees on his own personal words. These were from his Twitter, directly from his Twitter, blaming Trump for actually doing this very same thing. Like, we will never ever get enough of this. This is just the beginning. This is his first 5 days, and he is showing consistently that he has nothing new to offer. Now, I do know Trump has a lot of faults when it comes to how he speaks, or the things that he says, and the mistakes that he has made in terms of how he addressed the people when it came to the COVID pandemic. But when it came to the actions that he took, Trump actually took the right action. And it's so unfortunate that people are blinded and they just take everything they see hook, line, and sinker. Also, this is the same guy who actually accused Trump of being xenophobic. But guess what PolitiFact decided to do? PolitiFact, when they're trying to answer this question, they will say Biden has not directly said that the travel restrictions was xenophobic. He used that phrase in reference to Trump and his handling of the C virus outbreak. Well, what exactly did he tweet? This is what he tweeted at Trump. Like, it's almost like as if somebody like me, who English is not my first language, can translate English better, but maybe I'll let you guys translate it. This is what Joe Biden had to say when Trump actually effected travel bans to China. He said, "We are in the midst of a crisis with this COVID pandemic. We need to lead the way with science, not Donald Trump's record of hysteria, xenophobia, and fear-mongering. What have you just said? Trump creates what? Hysteria. Trump creates xenophobia. Are you not calling Trump a xenophobic person? To me, that is what he's saying. If you say I'm doing something, then you're telling me that's who I am. He is the worst possible person to lead our country through a global health emergency. So you happen to be the best person to lead the country through a global pandemic by actually carrying out the same actions as the worst person to lead the country in a global pandemic. So what do we call you now? We are just as bad as this other guy because he's doing exactly the same thing. And I just hope people will start to wake up, although it's too little too late at the moment. But here's looking at 4 years for you guys. I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on with this man. It's 5 days into his presidency. And boy, oh boy, there is nothing to write home about. And trust me on this one, not even CNN is happy about this guy being president. No matter what they try to do, they've got nothing to actually praise him with. There's nothing that he has done in his 5 days except sign a couple of executive orders that has led to the loss of jobs of 11,000 people. And they are foreseeing another 42,000 people to lose their job in the construction industry related to the Keystone Pipeline and also related to the border wall as well. So this is what you have, and I don't know what more to say about this. I just want to hear you guys. Let me know what your thoughts is about Joe Biden and his new plan. Do you support it? Do you not support it? Personally, I do support this plan 100% because this might stop the new strain that is coming from Europe that they are talking about, that it spreads a lot quicker, and America cannot afford to get another hit right now by this COVID pandemic, a new wave of it. It's not more dangerous. It just spreads a lot quicker. That's what they're saying about the strain. So if they can get a lot of vaccines out to enough people and what have you, maybe later in the future, they might be able to, unlock the travel ban, more or less. So I'm in support of what is done. Don't get me wrong. I am totally in support, but I'm just trying to let you know that this guy is just following the same trend as Trump. So does that make him just as bad as Trump or what? Let me know in that comment section below. I want to thank you guys for checking out my video. Now I'm going to be seeing you guys real soon, but until I do, like I always say, think critically, be objective, and take care of yourself. And I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace, and Saya's out of here.